Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahi rahman rahim. So, my name is Rashkumar Morgan. I reverted to Islam in the month of December 2023. And so, my journey kind of started around before my senior year of high school, was during the summer. I stumbled about Islam and other religions. And also, I began to question my faith, my original faith, my Hindu faith. I began to question, if I'm really, truly, specifically, truly praying to God, and I began to question. And so it kind of stumbled upon me to go into these other religions. Maybe I can get a clear perspective. And I wonder, when I reached about Islam, I was just like, wow, Islam is really beautiful. And I loved the concept of just like, this is the simplicity. The simplicity was just, it was just so right. And I feel like it kind of made me believe it. And, you pray to this one God, and you have to believe in the other prophets. And so I kept learning about Islam. I kept learning, and it got me to a good perspective. And I stumbled with my friend Usman, and who I'm a good friend to now. And so I kept telling him, I was like, yeah, man, I've been learning about Islam, and I was wondering if you could learn me something. I was like, yeah, man. He's like, come to the masjid. I was like, yeah, I really want to come. He was like, yeah, come to the masjid. And so this was time during Ramadan. And so he took me into the masjid, and I saw Muslims praying. I was like, wow, this is how Muslims pray. Like, there's nothing from. They're only praying to God Himself. I'm like, you have to pray 5 prayers, and you have to follow the 5 pillars of Islam. And so I was so drawn upon it. I was like, wow, this is how Muslims pray. And so I talked to the Imam. The Imam was a total nice guy. And I told him, I was just like, I really want to convert to Islam, but I need time to learn about it. He said, proceed with caution, and obviously, inshallah, you get the answer. And obviously, Allah sends the Quran. Allah's the best of planners. So we'll get back to it. And so I took his advice. I kept learning more about Islam, and I kept it to a secret to my family because, I didn't want them to have this burning on me. So I learned it secretly. So I kept learning, and then it was actually college. I had to go back to college. It was my first time in college. I stumbled upon the MSA, Muslim Student Association Club, and when I went there, I met a lot of people. I met a Hafiz. I met all these people. And so, they welcomed me with open arms. I kept learning about Islam from them. And so, I kept learning from them. I learned how to pray. I learned how to recite Quran. And so, I remember one day, they were like, hey, you should, they were talking about how, like, what if you accept Islam before it's too late? You should accept it. I'm like, you know what? I think it's time to convert. It's been about a year now of just learning. I feel like it's time to learn. I think it's time to convert. I already know it's the truth. I believe there is only one God, and that Muhammad is His messenger. And so I went to the prayer room. I met the Imam. It was like a FaceTime call. And so I said the Shahada. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. And I became a Muslim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. I like to say, Jazakallah khair. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.